Welcome back, my friends. Hope you're doing well. So today I am bringing you some yet another zombie survivors, and we're going to be showing off the what I like to call ultimate fortress build for endless mode. So to make this work, you're going to need 3 characters leveled to level 3, those being the engineer, huntress, and SWAT. And the plan is that we are going to cover the entire map in summons and defensive emplacement so that the zombies all explode as they come to us. Let's get right into it. So this should get us to at least 30-35 minutes with no trouble, but I'll see how far I can make it go past that. We're starting with the engineer because we want the cooldown reduction that you get from having him as your leader. Because one key element to this build is going to be to get the engineer's energy shield to have 100% uptime. So the energy shield lasts 10 seconds, so we need to get the cooldown to under 10 seconds in order to have it at 100% uptime, although it does gain a little duration as we level it, so it will be slightly less than, or slightly more than 10 seconds will allow us to have it up all the time. We can also, having selected it early, use it to help us clear through waves. It stuns the zombies when they touch it, which is particularly useful for what we need to do, because we're going to need to become immune to zombies, because they will become too fast for us to kill with our weapons. Luckily, we have an engineer to solve that problem for us. Starting with upgrading my gun, though, just so we can clear the wave a little faster. That magnet power-up, not terrifically useful here, but it gets the job done. So we want to kind of move, when our shield is up, we want to kind of move back and forth over the zombies in order to kill them slightly quicker. Now that we have the Tesla, we should clear through them a little faster as well. It's important to get levels early for this build to work. We're going to need high levels in almost all of our skills by the end of the game. The only meta upgrades that you really need to make this work are the skill cooldown reduction ones, although any additional HP, weapon damage, reload speed, and so on is useful, but cooldown reduction is the most important thing for this. Let's go grab our second character, hopefully. See who's in the box. Alright, we managed to get the huntress. That's great. That's one of the 2 characters that we want. I'm just kind of kiting this boss around. We want to go pick up this crate as soon as we can. And let's see what's in it. So currently there's nothing in here that we particularly want. I'm going to use one of my banishes on this health potion to stop it from showing up, because we're never going to want to select that. So we'd rather banish something and have more useful items show up in the wave. Here I will take this T-pose doll, though. This is a unique item, so this pulls it out of the possible pool of items that can show up in future, so that's going to improve our chests later on. Can just continue to maximize energy shield, and the next one we want leveled up is the zombie decoy. This is very important for preventing the bosses from just killing us, so we need to get that maxed out as well. Once we have 100% uptime on zombie decoy and the energy shield, these axe guys will be distracted by the decoys as so, and the small zombies will be stunned by the energy shield, and that will keep us alive. Here I am going to continue to level the bow, though, just leveling my basic weapons because we want to use those to clear enemies so we can level up a little faster. You can space yourself so that the energy shield is right on top of bosses. That's important to do. Significantly increases your DPS against them. We're not taking the laser, we want the blaster as our weapon for the engineer. Another big axe guy, but you can see he just kind of wiggles around in the decoy, and so we can place our shield on top of him and clear him pretty quickly. It's okay to tank a little bit of damage just to kill bosses faster. We want to be leveling up. We're not too worried about damage. And I do have the meta upgrade for a little bit of regen, so that will keep us alive. Pick up this box, and nothing here that I want currently. Reload time is good, but I'm going to re-roll this. So I will continue to upgrade this invincibility after getting hit. That can keep us alive in the early game, although in the late game it is not going to be useful. But we did get the SWAT. And so that's our third character. Let me here continue to level the decoy. The important thing is that by around minute 20 or so, we have the decoy and the shield maxed out, and at least one of our weapons maxed out, preferably two. We obviously are looking to find, I get electric turret, because that's going to be a core component of our defenses later. We're going to continue to max the bow, though. We are looking to find cooldown reduction in these boxes, which is why I'm so aggressively re-rolling. You can see how much safer we are when the energy shield is up as well. Got that guy to walk over the electric turret, and then we can pick up this frenzy to clear that guy. We'll grab the blaster, because that's the weapon we want, so not only does that help level our weapons, it also removes the laser from the pool, so our level ups are more efficient now, and continue to level the huntress's weapon as well. If you've only seen my Brotato content, this is basically the same game, so it's yet another in the Vampire Survivors Crimson Land sort of style of not twin stick shooter, but Survivors game. Alright, here we're gonna re-roll this, and I will take this. Again, this removes this from the pool because you can only ever have one of these, and this will help get us level ups. Basically gives us a level up every time we get enough money to gain a meta upgrade point. So that can help us increase our levels a little quicker than we would otherwise, and continue to level everybody's basic weapons. The lowered reload time from having the SWAT in our team also helps. Means there's less downtime when we're not shooting, especially with a weapon like the blaster that's mostly reload based for its cooldown. Looking around for magnet pickups, basically. Those are kind of the important thing, and then waiting for more boxes to spawn. This endless mode doesn't really get dangerous until minute 10 or so, at least when you have a bunch of upgrades and have picked reasonable abilities. Finish upgrading our blaster. That, again, removes it from the upgrade pool. We have currently found no cooldown reduction in boxes, so that's definitely worrisome. Let me continue to upgrade my zombie decoy ability. And in the box we found, again, nothing we want. I'm going to banish this magnet range. We're never going to grab that. We'll roll. And finally, we got a skill cooldown item. I'm also going to banish this Lucky Bill, just get rid of things that we're never going to take. Alright, so with our first skill cooldown item, we can see that our energy shield is on a 15-second cooldown, but we haven't maxed it out yet, so. Alright, here I'm going to start leveling automatic turret, because we don't have any of our other options. And now that you can see the build is starting to come together, where we have electric turrets, decoys, and automatic turrets all defending a location. that's what it's going to look like later on. But many times more so. Going to level the passive upgrade as well. Crit chance and crit damage, just really good. And helps make sure that we're clearing zombies as quickly as they spawn. The big dangers in the wave are these guys, the axe zombies, which is why we have those decoys, so you can distract them with those. And then also the chargers. The giant chargers are going to be really dangerous, and much later on, the spitter zombies are actually something that is going to get us more often than not. When we actually die, it's going to be to a spitter zombie, because they can attack you from outside of the range of all of your summons and turrets and things. Got this guy getting distracted by the decoy, and then we're going to go open a box. Hopefully it has cooldown reduction for us. We've got no cooldown reduction. Weapon fire rate is pretty good, as is dodge chance, but I'm going to reroll once, look for more cooldowns. Nice. Alright, so what are we at now? We've got 12.65 seconds. It'll be on a 12-second total duration, so once we've got this below 12 seconds, it's perfect. This one's on a 6-second duration, so we want to get the cooldown to below 6 seconds. And then any other cooldown that we get is going to help us just spawn a ton of turrets and airstrikes, landmines, all that kind of thing. Not landmines, that's the other character, but turrets, airstrikes, decoys. Picking these up even though we are maxed on our characters because it gives us a level. Alright, we've got our zombie decoy maxed out, so that is now on a 7.4 second cooldown. So a little more cooldown reduction. We'll have that on a permanent uptime as well. I think the maximum cooldown reduction you can get is 3 5% upgrades, another 3 5% upgrades, and 3 10% upgrades, plus having the engineer as your leader, and that will get your ability skill cooldowns down to about 22% of the total cooldown that they would normally have. So something that's on a 20-second cooldown normally would be on a 4-second cooldown, which is how we can enable us to have so many turrets and things in play at a time. You can see this is already starting to happen, and it's only going to get crazier from here. Alright, here we're going to continue to upgrade multi-shot. You don't have to use the SWAT for this build, but the engineer and the huntress, so here's another cooldown reduction item. The engineer and the huntress are mandatory, I think, for deep endless runs, because you need to have full uptime on energy shield to deal with the small fast zombies, and you need to have the zombie decoy to deal with the large axe zombies. The third character, you'll often see people use medic for really deep endless runs. I've had some success trying tank as well. Alright, let's continue to just upgrade our turrets here. And we'll continue to upgrade the passive. I'd like to start upgrading my my SWAT's weapon, because that's going to be an important component of our damage against bosses. But obviously we wanted to use all of our rerolls to find cooldown reduction, so we're never rerolling items in the level up screen or heroes. You can just not pick your second and third hero. Like, we got lucky and saw the ones we wanted in our first two SOS beacons, but you can just not pick a hero, use the third option, the liberate option, until the two that you want come up. unless you get staggeringly unlucky, you should still have them in time for the late game. Alright, moment of truth. What have we got in the box? More skill cooldowns. So here's the third way that we can get skill cooldowns. This also gives us weapon reload time reduction, which is also great. So let's take a look at our skills. We've got this on 10.45 seconds and 6.1 seconds. So notice that our energy shield is going to never be down after that one. It takes one full rotation for the cooldown reduction to actually come into play for some reason. And we have at least one decoy on the ground at all times. So as this one is running out, another one spawns. And that's basically the core of our defensive setup. Here we are going to continue to upgrade electric turrets. Kill this guy so that we don't have to dodge him anymore. And then I'll keep upgrading my weapons. You kind of want to play near your decoys, because later on those axe guys will one-shot us, so we'll need to be able to move to the other side of a decoy really quickly to avoid that. Alright, perfect. We'll just continue to take skill cooldown whenever it shows up. And so now we continue to have perfect uptime on our energy shield. We also have enough turrets on the ground to constantly be putting out turret DPS, even with that only at level 1. That will get better as we level it as well. Here, I'm going to upgrade to freezing arrows. We want this because it will enable us to dodge to the other side of our decoys when we see one of the axe guys. And also, it makes it harder for the chargers to get to us. Another nice side effect of having the energy shield on full uptime is that, let's keep leveling this, is that the sort of Raven Summoner zombie, the big boss that shoots birds at you, is not dangerous at all because the birds will all explode as soon as they touch your energy shield. I don't actually know if the bird's health scales with the Horde danger level. I've never not seen them get one-shot, but I suppose it's possible that theoretically in the extreme late game, like 1-2 hours plus, the energy shield wouldn't be enough to kill the birds, but at any realistic time frame, it's going to do what you need it to. Open the box, and skill cooldowns. Oh wow, I wish I could take all of these, but we'll take the 10% skill cooldown one here. I guess there's technically a possibility I should have taken the other one, because that one was only at 2 out of 3, and the 10%, or the 10% was at 2 out of 3, that one was only at 1 out of 3, and that would have left more things that we want for future chests while still getting us something that we'll want to have. So it's possible that there was a little bit of optimization that I could have done there that I didn't. Obviously the 10% is better than the 5% to have right now though, so if we sort of assume that we're never going to see a cooldown reduction item for the rest of the game, I'd rather have this one, but we could have made it more useful if, or more likely to see additional cooldown items if I'd taken the other one. You can see we just stepped to the other side of our decoy, and now we have covered this area in decoys, in fields, and so on. And if we stand basically in the decoy, then whenever there's an axe guy, he's going to run to the decoy, and then all we have to do is move just a little bit out of his way so that we get the decoy between him and us, and he'll stop attacking. You have to be pretty careful with the axe enemies, though, because later on they're going to be really, really fast. Also, obviously, I tanked a hit there from the charger, which would be lethal later on. So need to tighten that up. I'd say some of the hardest things about executing this build is just figuring out what's going on screen when you have 2 decoys and a whole ton of other stuff just on the field all the time. Let's grab this weapon fire rate. The faster we kill the enemies, the less dodging we have to do. You can see he's distracted by the decoy. This is kind of the ideal situation, is to have a decoy on either side of you, but because they're placed randomly around you in a circle, there's no way to guarantee that the decoys spawn in a useful position, other than jamming yourself directly into the corner of the map. I think that would work, but then you would have a really hard time dodging the chargers. So we want to maintain at least some spacing so we can dodge easily. You can see the ice arrows bought us enough time to back off and place down a distraction beacon, then we move to our next decoy, and so on. Here I'm going to continue to max these turrets. Once we've got them maxed out, they'll be on a pretty low cooldown as well. Have to dodge the charger. And crit chance and crit damage, or just crit chance. I think our crit chance is low enough that increasing our chance by 10% will be more useful than increasing our damage by 5 and our chance by 5. Actually tanked a hit from a normal zombie there, which you usually can't do with this build because the zombies will always be stunned. But if you're moving into them, then sometimes they can come unstunned before they die. As long as we're remaining motionless, the normal zombies can never get us, or if we're moving away from them, they can never get us, because they'll stun themselves and then explode. But if you are moving towards the normal zombies, then you can get in trouble. Anyways, here's why I call this the Fortress build. You can see that we are producing a zone where it is difficult to be a zombie. Alright, we'll take some more crits. Just a quick word on the last 2 abilities. Arrow Rain and Grenade Trail suck. They're basically useless, so we'll level those up last. I'm holding still for a moment there just to make sure that the axe zombie isn't going to chase us, because if we're being chased by the axe zombie, that's one of the ways in which we can actually get caught and killed. Skill damage, also really important, since most of our damage is going to come from our turrets and our electric turrets and our machine gun turrets. We can level skill damage pretty happily. Obviously, we would love to get our last 2 cooldown items, but I'm already in a pretty good spot for cooldowns, so feeling good about this one. The big thing, again, to make this build, or any build that aims to go pretty deep on endless work, is you need to get your cooldowns maxed. Let's level this SMG some more. This guy will help us kill bosses, so he's great to have as well. And then continue to level this turret. And we'll continue to level our passive. And you can see how quickly even a relatively tough zombie like the axe-carrying zombie dies when he makes his way into our 3 auto turrets, our 4 electric turrets. Alright, let's walk over this way to get the box. I don't know if it's showing up at all on my microphone, but it is pouring rain outside, so if there's a little bit of background noise, that's why. Here I'm gonna grab crit chance and crit damage, of course. We just want damage at this point. The faster we're clearing enemies, the better. And here I will max out Eagle Eye. Electrocution will also be a pretty important component of our damage once we get that leveled up, but it's more important that we get all our summons and our weapons leveled to maximum, so I'm doing that afterwards. And we can basically play by walking in sort of a spiral around our zombie decoys. And as long as we make it to the other side of the decoy before an axe zombie gets to us, we'll be safe from them. Then we just have to watch out for Spitter Spit and for the chargers. You can see why we need the permanent uptime on our energy shield, because the fast zombies are getting really fast around the 20-minute mark. And they only continue to speed up. Got this guy, so we're leaving a decoy in between him and us. Slowly making my way over to the box. As the horde gets stronger... Oh, wow, okay, we got both of these. So this time I am going to take the one that we only have one of, so that we can leave 2 of them still in the pool. Let's take a look at our cooldowns. Again, 27.5%, and our energy shield is on a 6-second cooldown, so we actually have 2 up at all times. I genuinely don't know if they stack like that, but it's a 6-second cooldown and it lasts 12 seconds, so if it does stack, we should have 2 up at all times. It looks like it might actually be. We're dealing so many damage instances to that guy. We want the assault rifle, not the sniper rifle, so I'll maximize our turrets now. And now that we have all our important cooldowns, I'll just take a look at how often those are. So 6 seconds on the energy shield, 3.5 seconds on the turret, and those last, I think, for 15 or 20 seconds, so they are just lasting forever, and we're just getting many turrets up. I think we can have up to maybe 5 on the field. 4 currently. Okay, it looks like we only get to keep 4 on the field at a time. But somehow I think we'll survive. I mean, not forever, obviously, because this is an endless mode, but... Gonna go grab this, and we'll grab the assault rifle, just because it's the higher DPS option, I believe, against bosses. And again, the big thing that's going to kill us is any bosses that survive our fields of fire and force us to dodge a lot. That's gonna, that gives me opportunities to screw up my dodging and get hit like that. Here we are going to just increase my maximum health. Weapon reload time is also kind of important, but maximum health more than any other defensive stat is going to help keep us alive. I'll also get 1 point in lifesteal at some point soon, just to be able to heal up after we do tank a hit. But max health and dodge and armor are better than healing, because the damage instances are going to be in the high thousands or 2000s or something by the time we're actually worrying about them. So we just need to be able to tank through a hit. And we need enough healing that I can get back to full health before I take another hit, but for the most part, healing through the zombies' damage is not going to be an option. Have to kind of chase that guy to make sure that he actually dies. Oh, wow, he glitched out. Let's level up our assault rifle. Got an axe zombie here, so let's kite him over to our decoy. Get him killed before I keep moving. Pick up this box, and we'll grab electrocution here. So this shocks all the zombies around us on a cooldown. This cooldown is going to be like 4 seconds by the time we have it maxed out, and so it will again be a fairly significant component of our damage. Basically, the zombies will run in, get stunned, and then we'll electrocute them. You can see I'm sort of starting to move in little instances because I always want to keep a decoy on screen. I never want to get too far out ahead of my decoys, otherwise we can get in trouble. Here I am just going to take armor. Again, that can help keep us alive. I'm actually not 100% sure how the armor in this game works. If that's just damage reduction, like if that 15 armor just reduces a damage instance by 15, then it's useless and I shouldn't select it. If it is actually like a percentage damage reduction, then it's extremely valuable to take armor. So if anyone knows how that works, let me know in the comments. Walking all the way over here to get this, and we can start leveling up our helicopter strike as well. So one downside to the helicopter strike is it's going to put these yellow arrows on the field where the helicopter's coming in from, and it can be easy to confuse the red arrows from where a charger is coming in with those yellow arrows, and it's just like adds more visual clutter. Here I'm going to keep taking skill damage. So that's one way that you can end up setting yourself up for failure, is by thinking that a charger is just one of the helicopter strikes. Because later on we're going to have 2 or 3, once we get this maxed out, we're going to have 2 or 3 helicopters on screen at all times as well. So walk over to the decoy, get that axe zombie distracted. Alright, so currently we can only keep 4, we can only really keep 3 turrets on the field at a time, 4 for like a little while, but with just a little more cooldown reduction, we should be able to have permanent uptime on 4 turrets, which is a lot of damage, of course. Standing in all my turrets, letting the axe zombie get killed. Then I'm going to kind of start making my way over towards this SOS beacon slowly. Let's grab electrocution. Pick this up and then go get the chest. And we've maxed this out, so let's take a quick look at that one as well. It's on a 3-second cooldown, so that's actually going to be a pretty significant contributor to our DPS at the end of the game. We're only a few minutes off the 30-minute mark, which is when you get your achievement for basically as far as the game thinks you can go in survival mode. We'll grab crit damage and weapon fire rate. Reset our little fortress here. That guy came in from off screen really fast, and I almost didn't react in time because both of our decoys were on the wrong side of us from him. Grab this magnet pickup. Should be enough stuff on the ground to maybe get a level. Now we're too high level to be able to level off of like actual experience gained from enemies. Basically, only the SOS beacons are going to keep leveling us. So we'll keep picking those up until they stop leveling us. Like until we've maxed every skill. Get the helicopter strikes going, and then continue to make my way over. Here's an axe guy, so I'm going to wait until he's dead before I try to get on the move again. Just because I don't want to get caught out by him getting away from my decoy beacon. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, I'll take this. That can stop us from dying to just like a couple damage instances from a zombie that gets in, a normal zombie that somehow gets in on top of us, or a spitter, a couple spitters that manage to land hits in a row. It won't save us from these big zombies, though. For that, I just need maximum health or to not get hit. So playing kind of over here in the corner is pretty good because it means it's very likely that the zombies will approach from the direction that my decoys are in. And also something that you can do is you can watch your decoy cooldown. Oh, I was watching my decoy cooldown and not the zombies and took a hit there, but you can watch your decoy cooldown and try to move towards the outer edge of your fortress at the point where the decoy is about to spawn. Not sure why we got 3 levels all in a row there. That was kind of funny. At the point where the decoy is about to spawn, to make sure you leave it on the outer edge and stop incoming enemies before they reach you. Alright, we need to make our way over towards the box. I'm not going to worry about traveling to the SOS beacons at this point. We'll get our levels maxed out with no problem, but boxes we still need. Here I am sure we'll just take some weapon damage. Still would love to get more cooldowns. More max health would also be really valuable at this point. Also some form of lifesteal, just so that if we do tank a random hit, we can heal it back up before it becomes too dangerous. Got a charger here, so I need to be very careful not to get hit by him. I think at this point in the game, we're at 29 minutes, he will just one-shot me. And look how lightning fast the zombies are at this point. Have to stay here by my decoy so that that guy doesn't get distracted and run at us instead of... or stays distracted and doesn't manage to run at us. Still maxing stuff out just for... because it does increase our overall damage, but... those two skills are really not going to be a significant factor in our survival. Alright, 30-minute mark. And we've got another box. So at this point I'm going to have to basically build emplacements all the way over. Ooh, we took a hit from a spitter there. Actually, good to know that the spitters only do 195 still. So we're not just like instantly dead if I take a spitter hit at this point. But because we rely on static defenses and decoys, I need to be pretty careful about how I'm moving so that enemies sprinting in from off screen like that axe guy just did doesn't instantly take me out. What have we got here? Yeah, I'll just continue to increase my maximum health. The chargers are dangerous because, unlike everything else, they don't really get distracted by your decoys. They will go stand on the decoy, but then they'll actually still just charge at you. Which I think is a little unfair. I think they should charge the decoy. Pretty sure I remarked when we passed 30 minutes, but if I forgot to, we're past 30 minutes. Axe zombie sprinting in from off screen. And we are fully maxed out. We can just take money now on all of our level ups. But let me get this box. Box is still important. Hey, we got another cooldown reduction item. That should mean even more turrets on the field. So let's see, we've got 3, 4... Do we get a 5th for a second? Yeah, we get a 5th. Alright, so it looks like we have permanent uptime on 4 auto turrets and 6 electric turrets with about 50% uptime on 5 auto turrets. We also have full uptime on 2 decoys, I think. It's kind of hard to tell, but that looks right to me. Oh, tanked a spitter hit there. Grab this heart, just in case it saves us. I don't think it does. Alright, we're gonna go over here and set up again, and then I'm gonna very slowly make my way over. As you can see, we're starting to take a little bit of damage every time I move, because the zombies, the small zombies, are getting to us. So while I do want this box, I also really want to heal. And I want to remain in my Fortress of Solitude. One thing that's nice about moving like this is I only really have to watch zombies from the right, because from the left, they're still so covered by stuff. Almost got hit there. We luckily had 2 decoys up, because it went for an expiring decoy, and I can't really see the timers on my items anymore. There's just obviously too many lights on the field. Alright, let's dodge that charger. This box really had to be all the way across the map, huh? Stay on the other side of my decoys from this guy. Alright, and here, sure, weapon fire rate. Alright, and we got another box, so let's make our way back across the field we've already established some of. Incidentally, I think the world record for survival in this game right now is about an hour. On the current patch. There used to be some invincibility exploits that let people go longer. But, oh no! Well, so much for that. Anyways, yeah, I let that guy run in and one-shot me. But that gives you, I think, a really good idea of how that works. We made it to just about 35 minutes, 34:59 to be exact. If I'd had just a little bit more maximum health, then we'd have survived that guy's attack, or if I had been playing a little more carefully and kept up decoys. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Give this build a try. Let me know how it goes. I'm pretty sure you can go for another 20 minutes or so easily. And thank you for watching, my friends. You can, of course, subscribe to my channel for more of this and other strategy game content. I'll be back with a couple more ridiculous builds of this if people enjoy it. So if you do, let me know that you want to see more in the comments, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers, folks. GG.